Crowley, and as promised, Linda Schmidt is joining me now.
Yes.
We have a
Another
lot
big
going
story.
on. The only story people have been talking about, honestly, for the last, I don't know, couple of days, it does seem
Well,
like.
actually, it's a week. It was a week ago tonight. That
And
Jimmy
it's not
Kimmel's,
funny,
yeah,
actually.
That Jimmy Kimmel, had his monologue. And so this has been a raging debate about free speech that's been going on now since last Monday. So go ahead.
All right. Linda, take it away. Tell us what's happening next. Tell us what happened and then what's happening tonight.
Okay. Well, first of all, Disney announcing that Jimmy Kimmel is going to be back on starting tomorrow night. So you are going to be able to see him at least here in New York tomorrow night. But he's not coming back to all ABC stations because we just got word from Sinclair, which is a company. It's one of two companies across the country, Sinclair and Nexstar. And they are two big station groups. And between the two of them, they own about 60 ABC affiliated stations, and they were both very upset with what Jimmy Kimmel had to say.
That's a lot of influence.
That is a lot of influence. So even though Disney says he's going to be back tomorrow night, Sinclair posted this on X. Beginning Tuesday night, Sinclair will be preempting Jimmy Kimmel live across our ABC affiliate stations and replacing it with news programming. Discussions with ABC, this is not the one, discussions with ABC are ongoing as we evaluate, no, this is not it either. Tarek, I'll tell you when to go to it. I'm just reading it here. Discussions with ABC are ongoing as we evaluate the show's potential return. That is from Sinclair. So again, Jimmy Kimmel is coming back tomorrow night on a lot of ABC stations, but not all ABC stations.
And I saw the map. A lot of the Sinclair and Nexstar stations are in the Midwest, in the South, in more red states, if you will, and that may have something to do with it.
It may have something to do with it, but you know what? Let's go ahead. We're going to roll just a moment, Tarek. I'll tell you. I'll give you the cue. We're going to go ahead and play Jimmy Kimmel's part of his monologue from a week ago Monday, and this is what started this raging debate this past week. Go ahead, Tarek.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from.
Okay, and it was after that that Nexstar and Sinclair, they put a lot of pressure on ABC and Disney to take Jimmy Kimmel off the air, and that's what ended up happening. But they said at the time they were suspending his show indefinitely.
Exactly, and that's what got everyone wondering.
That's right.
Yeah, so Jimmy Kimmel is, a household name, a mega star with a multi-million-dollar contract, and it comes right after Stephen Colbert's show. It was announced that CBS was going to be canceling that. So that's another reason, and we saw a lot of SAG-AFTRA, a lot of people in Hollywood come out to defend Jimmy Kimmel and say this was a violation, that he should be allowed to. It's part of free speech, our constitutional rights. He should be able to say what he wants to say. But, it's private company too, right? And so
Well, yeah, well, when you talk about these private companies like Nexstar and Sinclair, I mean, they own their own TV stations. They're not the network. But I do want to go ahead and read the statement from Disney. So, Tarek, let's go ahead and pull up the Disney statement, because this is what Disney said earlier. Here we go. Last Wednesday, we made the decision to suspend production on the show to avoid further inflaming a tense situation at an emotional moment for our country. It is a decision we made because we felt some of the comments were ill-timed and thus insensitive. We have spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, and after those conversations, we reached the decision to return the show on Tuesday. Now, this statement comes out and they make the decision today, one day after that massive memorial for Charlie Kirk at that stadium in Arizona. Now, that stadium holds about 64,000 people. It was packed, and there were tens of thousands of others who had wanted to get in, but they couldn't because there was no room for them.
Yeah, so there was an overflow place they could watch it on a screen, I guess.
Right, so this comes the day after. So that brings me to my next thing that I want to show you here. This is a statement from the spokesperson for Turning Point USA, which is a nonprofit conservative organization that was started by Charlie Kirk.
That's right.
So after Disney issued its statement saying they're bringing back Kimmel, this statement was posted on X. So let's go ahead Tarek, let's take a look at that. Disney and ABC caving and allowing Kimmel back on the air is not surprising, but it's their mistake to make. Nexstar and Sinclair do not have to make the same choice. And I started out with this with you, Sharon. Sinclair has decided not to make the same choice. They are going to be keeping Jimmy Kimmel off their ABC stations, and they're going to be running news programming instead. In fact, I think, I don't want to give an exact number, but I think it's Sinclair owns about 38 ABC stations across the country.
And if you didn't have a chance to watch, the 5-hour-plus long memorial to conservative activist Charlie Kirk yesterday, and listen to his heart-wrenching speech from his widow, Erica Kirk, it was like the pinnacle of what has been building, and it really does seem like the conservative movement in this country is having a moment and trying to get their voices heard, and we really saw that on demonstration yesterday, and this is really polarizing. It's more than just free speech. I think there's so much emotion after the assassination of Charlie Kirk and so much condemnation of it that even, some remarks by a late night show comedian have really got under the skin of many Americans.
Oh, absolutely. And because of the thing too, he's 31 years old. So he was a voice for the younger generation. That's what you hear teenagers and 20-somethings and 30-somethings talk about, that this is somebody who they connected with, who resonated with them. Yes. And we have to understand, in our country, we are not a country made up of just liberals, right, or left-leaning or progressives. We are a country also of Republicans and conservatives and far right.
Both parties watch TV.
That's right. Everybody's watching TV, although late night television viewership has been deteriorating for years now, and that's also part of the problem. They're not making the money to keep these shows on the air.
Exactly, and that was kind of kicked about by the pundits when this first happened. Like, what is the real reason that Jimmy Kimmel was suspended, air quotes, indefinitely? Apparently not, because he's coming back tomorrow night and Tuesday. Will probably generate huge ratings. But I don't think, Linda, this fight about free speech is over by any stretch.
No,
I think this is going to be an issue in the midterms coming up. I really think this fight over what he said and who he, his remarks and how people feel about it and how people will feel in this moment, when the country is still mourning most of it, or a large portion of it, mourning the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, and the thing too, Sharon, when we talk about First Amendment rights and the debate raging on, it's not just over what Jimmy Kimmel said. I mean, there have been so many examples over the past, say, 5 to 6 years where people have said, whether you're on the left or the right, oh, see, they're stomping on our rights. They're attacking the First Amendment. And the left is saying that. And then something else gets said by somebody else. And the right says, Republicans, oh, they're stomping on our rights. They are attacking the First Amendment. So this is an issue that has been ongoing for quite some time. And it is escalating.
It is, and it's a reflection of just how divided our country remains. So.